I want to talk about Coca-Cola versus Pepsi, and which is the best stock to own in 2019 going forward. Both have great reputations. Both have done well over the long term in the stock market. And looking for a long-term hold, they both look like they'll probably carry on going up and probably increase the dividend. I'd say that both of these stocks are, value stocks. Both of them are safe companies, which if you're a new investor, ideally one of these two would be a great first investment. Investing into a company that you understand the business model. I think everyone understands Coca-Cola and the Pepsi business models quite well. And when you're investing in a company, it's always important that you know that business model quite well. And if you have a basic understanding already, it's a quite good stock to be getting into. Like I say, both are value stocks. Both of these stocks aren't going to be going up more than 20% even in a bull market. You look at 2017 last year where we had a great year. Both of these stocks went up quite a bit, but not huge compared to some other companies out there. Like I said, if you're building a dividend portfolio, maybe look at both of these stocks. Both of them pay a dividend. But yeah, we'll get onto that in a little bit. Not both of these aren't growth companies, so keep that in mind. And we'll have a look. We'll see which one's better. But first of all, let's just mention the actual business models of them. Both of these companies have suffered quite a bit because both of them are pretty much relying on the sugar drinks, and sugar drinks in general are getting people cutting it out of the diets. We're getting a little bit healthier at last after trying for so long as a whole country, a whole world really, and we're getting a lot better at it. And these two have suffered from that and had to change the business model quite a bit. Coca-Cola itself has struggled more, I think, in this sort of area than Pepsi, because Pepsi's got a bit more of a variety of kind of products it has. It also owns into the food market now with like Doritos and things like that. Coca-Cola's pretty much stayed in the drink market. So Coca-Cola's kind of struggled with that change, and it's took its toll on the company over the last few years. Pepsi's kind of managed to change it around a little bit more than what Coca-Cola has. Like I say, Coca-Cola struggled. Pepsi's kind of managed to get its way around it and is now starting to going back to increasing its revenue, its EPS growth a lot quicker than what Coca-Cola has. But Coca-Cola is getting there. When we look at the price itself, we're looking at $49 for a share in Coca-Cola. We're looking at $115 for Pepsi, so a little bit more, just over double. Coca-Cola has quite a high PE. Its high PE is around 67, which is quite high for a value company. Pepsi is around 33, which is still quite high for a value company as well. We're looking at probably somewhere around the 25, 27 mark. So for this price is quite high. You look at Apple and look how low they are compared to these two. That kind of gives you an idea. The EPS growth for this is forecast from this year to 2019, so we're looking a year ahead, is 6.7% on Coca-Cola. But I'll be honest, I've looked at that and I think there's a good chance that Coca-Cola can miss that. Pepsi is 5.47, so just a little bit lower, just a bit more than 1% lower than what Coca-Cola is. Coca-Cola's revenue is predicted to come in at 4%. Pepsi's around about the 2.93%, so 1% there again. But like I say, I don't know if that's a little bit ambitious on the Coca-Cola side of it when I'm looking for it, but we'll see what happens. Dividend wise, Coca-Cola is 0.37, Pepsi is 0.92, so nearly 3 times what Coca-Cola is playing. So you get a better dividend there. One thing to keep to remember of about this dividend is, we'll get onto this in a little bit. Actually, you know what? So balance sheet, I've had a look through both of them, and I think Pepsi's is just slightly better. I just wanted to mention that before while I talk about the dividend, because I've looked at the dividend side of it, and at the moment Coca-Cola actually makes a lot more profit. Their profit margins are a lot more better. I think Coca-Cola's around 27, and I think Pepsi's somewhere around 19 off the top of my head from what I can remember. But Pepsi at the moment has a lot more free cash flow, so basically that means that Pepsi will be able to increase their dividend more than likely a lot quicker than what Coca-Cola will be able to do. Coca-Cola's dividend might struggle to go up at all over kind of this period. Pepsi should go up to the $1 mark at some point. So you probably be, if you're in it for the dividend, you know you might be looking at the Pepsi side of it because theirs is going to more likely to go up. But yeah, both very strong balance sheets really. Both are sitting on quite a bit of cash. Coca-Cola's is going down a little bit, and Pepsi's isn't. So overall, I did give the balance sheet to Pepsi. I felt like when I looked into the numbers that Pepsi's balance sheet was a bit better than Coca-Cola's. But overall, it was a little bit of a tricky call. But when we look at it all together, I think obviously the price is a little bit different, but you're getting 3 times the dividend payout on Coca-Cola to Pepsi. So, you know, this one you're getting more for what you invest in, which is really good. I think Pepsi's a little bit more safe over the next few years as well. So you got your PE that's better than Coca-Cola. You've got your dividend that's better and probably will go up more than what Coca-Cola is. EPS and revenue, really hard to say because there's not too much in it, and Coke is better for the cheaper price. But I feel like Pepsi is probably going to hit that more than what Coca-Cola is because of how Pepsi have been doing and looking at the balance sheet, and also the diversity they've got in their actual like company of selling products. So I feel like Pepsi is a better investment than Coca-Cola. Both okay companies. Like I say, depends how ambitious of an investor you are. If you're a growth investor, both of these stocks won't really appeal to you. But they are good companies. If you're starting off in the stock market, if you want to build a long-term dividend portfolio, then I'd recommend you for that. If you're a growth investor, then maybe this isn't the one for you. But I would say Pepsi is probably the better buy than Coca-Cola. But like I said, there's not too much in it really. Just think you got a little bit more upside on Pepsi than Coca-Cola right now. But both great brands. Long term should be pretty solid. Probably won't go anywhere. Really strong brands in the sector. And that's the video for today, guys. So yeah, go Pepsi on this one, I think, for 2019. Thanks for watching. Give the video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.